What's going on, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of the Indian Chief Sport Chief build. Let's come up with a better title for that. What are we gonna call it? You can cut. What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of the Sport Chief build here, or Sport Chief Plus that we're doing. We just finished installing the Memphis Shades Road Warrior yesterday, so this is day 2. We're doing the Lawless Garage crash bar. This thing is a big, solid piece. You can tell build quality is really, really good on this thing. The kit comes with everything you need here. All the mounting hardware is included. Don't be alarmed that it's not symmetrical on both sides. And then as far as the tools you need for this one, as far as I can tell, you need a 3/8 and 8 metric socket set. There's not a lot of instructions or torque specs on this one, but it should be a pretty easy build, so we're just gonna try to knock it out real quick. And then we're gonna go hop on and go for a little ride and review kind of just the initial updates that we've made, and we'll go from there. So here we go. All right, guys, so unlike Harley, where you have to usually remove the foot controls to install a crash bar, Indian has these 2 bungs all ready to go. So we're just gonna go ahead and take out this top bolt. You won't need the factory hardware anymore. That's step 1, and then we'll go ahead and get it screwed in. All right, guys, so we got stock bolts out. This is the hardware that's included with the kit. They also include a nice little bottle of Loctite. Don't forget that. Always use your Loctite. So we're gonna go ahead and install these through those same mounting holes. On this side only, actually, is where you need this little nut to go behind it, and then the included washer as well to kind of evenly space it. So really easy, just pretty much one bolt, and because there's no torque spec, I'm just gonna kind of give it the old good and tight.
Explain the difference of red and blue Loctite.
You're gonna explain the difference of red and blue?
Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, blue Loctite is the stuff that will just come off with a little bit of a force applied. Red Loctite, you need heat, a lot of it, because it's meant to be in hot environments and stay on there. Blue Loctite just avoids these bolts basically vibrating loose. So. Okay, guys, it's kind of hard to see from this angle, but this lower bolt in here behind the bracket is actually a little gap. That's what this included washer is for. So you'll see as we put that in there, we just slide that in behind the bracket. Right now, everything's mounted up there loose. If you have an extra pair of hands, definitely use them. Leah's been really helpful with me getting this one on, but we're just gonna go ahead and finish up bolting it up, and then we'll take you to the next step.
We'd like to take a moment for Cassidy's toes. This one's a sunshine. That one's a slightly outgrown wave.
Hashtag Hawaii life, yo.
Yep. Now we'd like to take a moment for my toes. I know it's not OnlyFans, but here we are.
All right, guys, so we got everything nice and snugged up now. Like I said, no torque specs included, so just get it tight. Obviously, it's a crash bar. Don't strip the screws or anything, but you know, you can crank on it a little bit. So now you guys can see these end pieces here are where these little Delrin pucks go, and that's the last thing we're gonna be installing, and then it's good to rock and roll. All right, guys, so there she is, all installed, looking good. Like I said, this thing is nice and beefy. I hope we're not gonna have to actually like test it on anything, but good to have if you need it. We went with a little silver accent there to kind of match some of the other pieces on the bike. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop on, give her a rip, and we'll tell you what we think of these couple pieces. So let's get after it. Alrighty, guys, here we are on the Sport Chief Plus, as we're so affectionately calling it, I guess. Boy, let me tell you, since the last time I reviewed this bike, these changes that we've made have been a night and day difference, especially the fairing. So we're going to talk a little bit about the crash bar first, because the fairing I have more to say. So the crash bar, just to talk about it real quick, like I said, build quality is really good. It sits in a really good position that you guys, you know, if you want to, you can put your feet up on it just like that. Leah didn't want to put any grip tape on it just because she wanted the aesthetic to stay nice and clean. I totally get that, but I will say if you're planning on using it for highway pegs, I would recommend putting a little bit of grip tape on there just so that your feet get locked into place. You don't have to worry about them slipping off or having to put in
honestly more effort than it's worth to, you know, have your feet be sitting up on the pegs on longer trips or anything like that. But the crash bar is just really solidly made. I have not had the opportunity to try it, and hopefully that won't happen for a long time. But it's always good to have some crash protection on your bike just in case you do end up dropping it. You don't want to scuff up such a nice paint job. So as we ride along here in this beautiful evening, now we get to talk about the best upgrade that we have made as far as the comfort and livability of this bike is concerned, in my opinion, is this Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. Oh my god, you guys. Memphis, I love their stuff. I've worked with them a lot. I've used their stuff on my bikes for a long time now. So I definitely recommend their fairings. I think they work great, and I love the modular nature of it. I love the fact that if you ever want to take this thing back to like a standard bobber that's just like open and in the air and you don't have any wind protection, it's so easy. It's literally just removing one set of clips and you're done. But when the bike, when the fairing is on there, it's solid. Like no vibration, no buzzing around. It's just a really, really big quality of life improvement for me at least. Because with these bars, without the fairing, you get this wind pocket that gets created like literally right in front of you, and so your whole body just kind of acts like a big parachute, especially on highway riding and stuff like that. With the fairing here, now it's really comfortable. I'm sitting nice and solid in the seat. I'm just like, I'm chilling. I'm loving life. A 15-inch windshield on here. I am 5'7", and the wind is basically hitting me like just at the top of my head. If that, like not really any wind buffeting or anything like that. I'd say it's blowing like perfectly over me. Again, just work with the angle of the fairing to make sure that it's adjusted perfectly for where you guys want it. But for me, this setup works perfectly. I would say that this light sits just a little bit lower than where it would sit on a Harley. So account for that. Add maybe, just those extra 2 inches compared to what you've used before. But I think it's perfect for my size. I can see over it perfectly. It doesn't obscure my vision at all, but at the same time, I don't feel like any wind buffeting on my head or anything like that. I think it's doing the job perfectly. So I can't say enough good things about Memphis and their products. And also, they hooked us up with some hand guards here too. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I hadn't put these on my bike for the longest time because I just honestly didn't think they were going to do anything. But I have to say, after riding around with them a little bit, it's more than just like rock and bug protection for your knuckles. They actually do provide like wind and cold protection for your hands too that I never would have accounted for. So pretty cool. And if you like the look of them, then I would say go for it because they're solid. Like I said, big thank you to Memphis for hooking it up with that and letting us use all this stuff and try it out and be one of the first Chiefs to have these products on it. If you guys are thinking about adding a fairing to your Chief or even swapping out the stock fairing on the Sport Chief, guys, I would say go for it because in my opinion, these things look way better. They perform even better. So I could not recommend them higher. So if you guys are interested, go hit up Memphis, go get yourselves a fairing. I promise it'll change your life in the best way possible for these bikes. But yeah, guys, I hope you've been enjoying the Sport Chief Plus build series that we've started here. We're gonna make a couple more additions to it. I think we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the engine work that we've had done. I'll have Leah talk a little bit more about that because she obviously has more experience on this bike from like a before and after perspective, so she'll be able to give you guys some good insights on the Stage 2 and Lloyd's Tune that we did on these things. But either way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's going to be plenty more coming like that, more performance. We're going to get this fairing paint match, so if you guys want to see more of that, let us know in the comments. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It helps my channel out more than you guys know. That's gonna do it for me. As always, I will see you in the next one. Later.